Sleep is one of the most underrated things, I think, in terms to health and recovery from the gym and overall a lot of things. And I think a lot of people underestimate it. And I think you got to look at a few factors when it comes to sleep. You got to think about how long you're sleeping. You got to think about the quality of your sleep, and you got to think of the consistency of your sleep. In terms of how long you're sleeping, I think it does vary depending on age and who you are. I know some people say they're good with less, some people are good with more. I remember looking at some literature in terms of children, like we worry that they sleep longer, but they could use longer. They're growing. And so when they're sleeping 9-10 hours, that's okay for a kid. As you grow older, it gets less. But if I still argue if you're healthy and exercising, it still should be towards a longer end. I wouldn't say 9-10 hours, but 8-9 hours. I really try to push for 9 hours. Some people say they're good with 7, and 7's a perfectly okay number. But I think when you're going less than 7, you're not in a good space. You need at least 7, according to several studies. And so duration aimed for 7 to 9 hours. Happy medium is, if you don't know, aim for 8 hours of sleep and try to get that 8 hours. In terms of sleep quality, you can kind of tell how well you sleep by how many times you wake up in the middle of the night. Are you sleeping all the way through your sleep? Are you having some dreams? Those dreams are when you're in the deepest state, and that's a good state to be in. When you look at sleep, you don't want to be in REM, the rapid eye movement, deep sleep for the whole time. Each of those sleeps is beneficial, but you do want to reach that deep state and stay in that deep state for a long time, as long as you can, ideally. So if you're waking up in the middle of the night several times, you got to rethink some things. If you're waking up to pee, maybe rethink when you're drinking your water, how much food's in your system to absorb that liquid. There's several things to think about if you're waking up in the middle of the night. Are you waking up to sounds, to light? And then, lastly is sleep consistency. And I've learned that the best sleep I've ever had is when I've been super consistent. You kind of build a sleep routine before you go to bed to relax you, to get away from blue light and your phone, and to essentially prepare you to go to sleep. And that should be the same time every day. Like, decide how long you want to sleep, decide when you want to wake up, and then retract that and decide that's when I want to go to bed. And even more so, you don't want to go to bed the time you want as your sleep cycle start. You want to go to bed before that, so you're sleeping by the time you want your 8 hours to start, if that makes any sense. So I guess we could look at it. Let's say you want to wake up at 6 in the morning and you want 8 hours of sleep, so that's 10 p.m. You got to be sleeping. So I would say by 9 p.m. you're already starting to turn those wheels and get into bed to be able to sleep. So just be consistent with when you fall asleep. Aim for the best sleep quality. And sleep is awesome. Like, when I sleep well, I feel amazing, and my lives are better, and my health is better. So don't neglect your sleep. Aim for good sleep. I'll talk about some tips and tricks here in a little bit for sleeping better. But for now, about the workout is I started warming up, ready to do legs. I hit legs a few days ago, and I hit them really hard. I try to hit legs twice a week, which is problematic if I go super hard in one of the times, because then by the time I get to the other time, I'm not ready for another leg day. And so I was warming up here, and I was cramping in my hamstring when I was doing my last leg day, and my hamstring is really not good right now. And so I'm gonna kind of feel it out, warm up a little bit more, and we'll see if we want to get a workout in today about legs, because I don't want to hit it if you gotta let your stuff recover. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let me feel it out. Let me warm up, and I'll meet back with you. Yeah, I'm gonna not do a leg day today. I'm gonna let my legs recover. But at least I'll make a little short video of me talking. I decided I'm just gonna go for a run, let my my hamstrings and my quads recover from deep exercise. I'll just go for a light run to get some calories burned. I mean, I was thinking, I like the quote, never do nothing, but thinking like my hammies are shot, my calves are still kind of sore, my quads and glutes are somewhat fine, but then again, if I try to hit those, I'll probably engage the other muscles, so that wouldn't be good. In terms of sleep, I work night shifts, and so sleep is definitely something I try to optimize, and it's hard to get good sleep when you're working nights, but just like the 3 things I said, those are really important, but there are some tips and tricks in terms of your sleep environment that really helps you get to better sleep. So with your sleep environment, you want it nice and cool. Cooler environments are definitely shown to give you better sleep. And so I would aim for, honestly, below 69 degrees. If you go 68, even down to 65, cooler is you're shown to have really better sleep. And so that is one thing. Another thing is light. You don't want light in your room. So especially me working nights, I have to get rid of that light. If your schedule is a little weird to where you're sleeping with some light, I don't think it matters. There's a lot of people that say, oh, you got to wake up at 5:30, 4 in the morning. As long as you maintain that consistency, regardless of where it is, I think you're fine. So blackout curtains are kind of, but the light seeps in around, but there's these new curtains where you could literally Velcro it and give it some lip, so where it covers all that light from that window, and that's really nice. And so that's another thing. And I mean, when you wake up, get out. If you're still lying in bed for hours after your alarm goes off, your body's not gonna build that routine of, oh, this is when I wake up. So get up, get out, get outside maybe, drink some water, get some food, whatever you need to do, tell your body it's awake, it's time to get up. And so you gotta maintain that routine. I would say just as you gotta build a routine to get into your sleep, you should build a routine to get out of your sleep. And so an hour before I go to bed, I'm gonna be calming down, shutting off my phone, relaxing, taking a shower, whatever it is, getting in my mind, I'm going to bed. And I'm preparing to go to bed. Just as you prepare to go for a workout, I'm going to prepare to relax and sleep and recover. And then when you wake up, it's like, okay, it's time to wake up. So now I'm going to build that routine to wake up. I'm going to get out of bed. I'm going to make my bed. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to drink some water. Maybe do some cardio in the morning. Get some food. Build a routine. Reserve a good amount of time for your sleep. I would say, even like at minimum, maybe let's say you sleep 7 hours and build half an hour routine before, half an hour after. You got 8 hours reserved for sleep time. And if you're maxing it out like me, maybe I want 9 hours of sleep and I want an hour before, an hour after. That's 11 hours that I'm giving to sleep to prepare and recover, because sleep is so important. Your body's not really recovering while awake that much. You got to be sleeping so your body's not moving and it's working to get you where you need to go. So don't neglect your sleep. Don't neglect your workouts. Hit your muscle groups at least once a week. Legs, it's hard for me to hit twice a week sometimes, so I apologize for not being able to hit it today. It's just I've been trying new stuff and implementing new stuff and really trying to go intense, and it's been hurting me a little bit in terms of this, but still good, still growing, still going. Gonna cut for another few more weeks, try to get super shredded. That's the goal, and then we're gonna bulk. I want to do a lean bulk, about 0.5 pounds a week of muscle mass with minimum fat gain. So I'm gonna do it pretty cleanly, and pretty heavily. It's gonna be gnarly. But yeah, hopefully some information has helped you guys, and I will catch you guys next time.